Welcome back and happy Thursday. Welcome back to Day in the Life. Today we have taco sauce. I have lettuce, taco meat, cheese, tomatoes. Here's the tortilla chips. I've got sour cream. Well, you guys, do I have a story to tell you today? I told you about yesterday, right? With Jax during my lunch yesterday. So the past few weeks I've talked before that Adri, like, she always likes going to school. She's like not wanting to go to school. She won't get up in the morning. She's pretending to be sick so she doesn't have to go to school, blah, blah, blah. I've asked her, you know, what's going on? Is someone bullying you? Is someone being mean? What's the deal? And she says, no, everything's fine. Yada, yada, yada. A couple weeks ago, she said she was sick and that her stomach hurt so bad. And on the third day, it was a Friday and then a Monday and then I think a Tuesday. And on the third day, I'm like, if your stomach really hurts this bad, then you're going to go see a doctor. I'm like, because this is like the third day. If it hurts that bad, then there could be something wrong. And she was fine with it. She was fine going to the doctor. So Jay took her to the ER. Like urgent care, they don't do x-rays there. So they need to do an x-ray or a scan of her stomach. They don't do that there. So they just send her to the ER anyway. So he takes her to the ER. They do an exam. She doesn't have a fever or anything. They did blood work. They actually did blood work. Everything was fine. They did like urine sample. They even did a freaking ultrasound of her stomach to make sure everything was okay with her stomach. So she willingly went through all of this. Swore up and down, everything's fine at school. I took her to school, told them what was going on. They said, you know, sometimes it's a teacher, sometimes it's a student, but you know, they talk to her and try and get to the bottom of it. Yesterday, my kid comes home, all upset. She's crying to me, telling me that there's this, like, in her grade, if whatever class you have before lunch, that you sit with your class, with that teacher's class, at that table. She doesn't really have any friends in her class, so she chooses to sit at the peanut butter table, where like people with peanut allergies sit, so they're not around, like no one else you can't have peanut butter there. So it's a safe spot for anyone with the allergies to sit. She sits there with her one friend, Marley, the only two girls, and there's this group of boys that sits there with them. And apparently, every freaking day, these boys are taking her food, messing with her food, throwing food on her chair so she sits in it. Let's see. Taking other people's food and dumping it into hers so she can't eat hers. And yesterday, she said she was so hungry and she was trying not to cry in her next class, so she finally messaged the guidance counselor. I said, what happened yesterday? Like, because I've been asking her for weeks. So is Jay. She's been saying nothing's wrong, everything's fine. So yesterday, I said, what was finally the last straw that you actually messaged somebody and let somebody know what's been going on? She said they had hamburgers and pickles. One kid took a bite out of his pickle, put it on his tray. Another kid picked up the pickle that this kid had bit off of and put it on her sandwich. She said she'd had like 2 bites of her sandwich and she was so hungry. And that was finally the last straw for her. I said, how long has this been going on? She's like, Mom, it's every day. And she said that a sheriff just went flying down the street towards the tracks. Lights and sirens. She said the one kid dumped peaches on her sandwich so she couldn't eat her sandwich. I'm like, okay. What are these kids' names? Because I'm going to get a hold of their freaking parents. Like, throwing food at her is bad enough, but taking her food and pouring stuff in her food so she can't eat it, this mom was pissed. So she told me the name. So I got on Facebook asking, hey, does anybody know the name of the parents of this boy? Because he's been doing this crap to my daughter. Blah, blah, blah. Within like 2 minutes, I had a handful of my friends messaging me saying, you know, they know the mom's name, they know this kid, blah, blah, blah. So I find the mom on Facebook and message her and say, are you this kid's mom? And she messaged back and said, yeah, so-and-so, one of our mutual friends, had sent her a picture of my post, and she's livid, so she wanted to know if she could call me. So I gave her my number, and she called me. We talked on the phone for a while. She said she doesn't tolerate. She said when she was a kid, she was the girl that got bullied because she had a birthmark on her face. And she said teachers didn't stop it. School didn't stop it. Parents didn't stop it. She had only stopped when she beat up the boy that would bully her. Because she finally had enough. So I know that her son, and just, so the boy's in the background, the dad's in the background, like, irate. I hear him, she's apologizing for his language. I'm like, no, I totally get it. And Adrian's like, it's not just him, it's this whole group of them. And the boy's like, yeah, it's this whole group. And he's telling his mom these boys' names. Like, they're his friends. He's telling his mom their names. So I told him, I said, so you're telling me that every single day, either you or one of these other 5 or 6 boys or more than you does this to her every single day? And he said, yes. I said, not one time did any of you think you should stand up and say, okay, we need to stop. This isn't nice. Like, so I just started crying. I'm just like, and he's like, he apologized. He was crying and he apologized to Adriana. And then she apologized to him because she doesn't want him to be in trouble. And that's what she told me. She said, Mom, I don't want him to be in trouble. I don't want him to be mad at me. And I don't want him to do something worse, you know? So I get it. I get why she didn't say anything. If they're already doing this, like, what are they going to do if they get in trouble, you know? So I totally understand. And this boy says, well, the one boy, they told me his name, he said he picked up her metal water bottle today and hit her in the back of the head with it. And Adrian's like, yeah, that was today. He's like, and then another time he picked up somebody's assignment notebook and hit her in the head with that. I'm like, so not only are they pouring food in her food so she can't eat it, taking her food, putting other people's chewed up food on her food so she can't eat, but they're physically hitting her with objects. My blood is still boiling. I have a handful of Facebook friends who can relate because the similar things have happened to their kids, or like different schools. It's like, yeah, she just told the guidance counselor yesterday, but the guidance counselor said, you know, if it still continues like next week or the week after, then he's going to be in big trouble. You're going to wait another 2 weeks before you contact anybody's parents? No, I'm sorry. I'm going to contact the parents my damn self. And that's what I did. My mom's like, I want to know if he's like the main one, if he's the ringleader, because she said, I'm going to determine his punishment by how involved he is. But so he sat there and told his mom, yeah, him and his friends, one if not more, does this to her every single day. So last night I'm like, Adrian, when did it start? All right, look at your school menu and see if you can remember when it started. She's like, Mom, on the second day of school we had a hot dog. She's looking at the menu. She said we had a hot dog and baked beans. She said they poured my baked beans into my pineapple. I'm like, so from the second day of school, this is like the 4th week of school. So since the second day of school, this has been her lunch break every single day. At first I'm like, okay, it's probably not every single day. They probably threw little bits of crumbs at her a couple times. No, that boy said it's every single day. Either one or more of those boys does this to her. Throws food on her chair so she sits on it. Dumps stuff in her food so she can't eat it. Takes her food. Just ruins her food so she can't have it. And then like physically hits her with things. The mom said she was going to call the principal today. Or that she was going to go to the school and talk to the principal. And that she wants them to pull up video so she can see what these boys are doing to her every day. And somebody said, like, aren't there lunch monitors? It's like, These boys are 12 and 13 years old. Number one, they know better. And number two, they sit there and watch the monitor. I've been a monitor at that school. They wait for you to turn around and walk the other way, and then they do crap. Like, folks, there's so many kids. You can't see what every single kid's doing. So yeah. So I'm just like patiently waiting for her to get home from school so I can hear how today went. So I told my mom, I said, I'm telling you right now, if she went to school today and it's the same or worse, yeah, I might be jobless. Every day. I'm like, are these boys like mean? Like, do you guys get along? She's like, no. She's like, we don't not like each other. I'm like, honey, they're being bullies. I said, even on the phone, I said, and they wouldn't. I said, they do it to you girls because if they did it to a boy would beat their ass. Her parents are right there on the phone, but that's the truth. I asked her, I said, the friend that you stay with, I said, she doesn't ever stand up for you or tell them to stop. She's like, Mom, she's like, we tell them to stop and they don't listen. She said, they do it to her too. So. It has been a day. I was talking to the girls at work about today. And then my main boss happened to come in today. We rarely see her. So one girl's like, just go ahead and tell her. Just give her a heads up so she knows what's going on. So I told her. She was not happy. When she left there, she said she was heading over to that school because it's about to be lunchtime anyway. One of my friends from that school, she works security. She's like, she messaged me. She's like, you tell your daughter to come get me. She's like, 100. I've got her back. I'll take care of it. And she's like, I'm not putting up with it. So I told Adrian, I think that made her feel better knowing that. And she said she would keep an eye out and watch these boys, and then she would pass it on to the other people in the cafeteria so they can watch these boys. So it's not just one. 7th grade, and you already isolate yourself and just sit with your one little friend for lunch, and this is what you deal with every single day? These little punk ass kids. I'm so mad. It's like, yeah, she just told the school yesterday, and yeah. She should have told a long time ago. No. You kids should know better. You don't take somebody's food. You don't ruin somebody's lunch every single day. She's already like this big. I said, I'm just. My mom, my stepdad, my sister, they're just like so heartbroken. This has been Adri's lunch every day. I said, I didn't know. I knew something was going on because it's not like her to not want to go to school or to come home from school so mad. I'm always like, what are you so mad about? You just got home from school. And my one co-worker said, thank God that I like pay attention to her like attitude, personality, whatever, to notice that something was wrong. I need more chips. I get it, the school is going to say something to the kid, but it's like, they shouldn't have to. He knows better. And not only that, if my child was doing this, I would want to know. Oh, I'm going to just tell her not to stop doing that. No, I would want to know how my child is behaving. Or misbehaving. I told you, I said, they're doing this. The two little girls in the cafeteria, where there's monitors. What are they doing, like, in the hallway where there's no one around to see what they're doing? You know what I mean? The mom told me, just take her name and number. me. I asked her, I said, when somebody's messing with your food, I said, what are the rest of them doing? Just sitting there? And she's like, yeah, just sitting there laughing. Boy, either sit there and harass a little girl or watch someone harass a girl and sit there and laugh. My boss was so mad. She's like, you don't touch other people's food. You don't sit there and put your hands on other people's food. Okay. That's it for lunch. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson on bullying. I don't stand for it. I don't put up with it. No. Like I said, I don't teach my kids. If someone's calling you names, who cares? Ignore it. If they say something about you or spread a rumor, who cares? Ignore it. But when someone's ruining your lunch every single day, physically ruining your lunch every single day, no. That's not something to ignore. That needs an ass whooping. I couldn't imagine hearing that any of my kids were spending their lunch ruining someone's food every single day. Like I said, the parents are very, very livid. But yeah, that's my lunch. Tomorrow should be a fiestada. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's Jackson's fashion show. Tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm sure I'll have something to talk about tomorrow. Never a dull moment. Hopefully I'll be in a positive way tomorrow.